started with the number one songs of the 1960s, which actually presented quite a bit of quality, a bit more than I was expecting, especially in the early 60s. Then, with the number one songs of the 1970s, things got a little bit bland, to be honest. Then with the 80s, I can't say that the number one songs of that decade weren't interesting, but some of it was interesting for not necessarily good reasons. This video is going to kick off with my thoughts on the number one songs of the 1990s.
Yeah.
Now it's time to react to the first 5 minutes of this video again, because I did it just before, and guess what? The microphone disconnected fucking thing. The first number one of the 1990s alone in Australia was Janie's Got a Gun by Aerosmith. Pretty big cheese, but not the worst cheese around. It's a 7. Honestly, I kind of have similar thoughts about Nothing Compares to You, even though it's a pretty well celebrated song for a good reason. It's still a solid 7 though, because there's no real glaring faults about it for sure. Big hit as well in Australia. No real major nice things to say about this one. 5 out of 10 for Paula Abdul and I believe that's MC Scat Cat. Yeah, another one of Madonna's better hit singles. So 7. My mum definitely does not like this song, and I certainly don't either. I'm giving this a 3. All I want to do is poo, so I'm bumping it down to a 2. How did they go from Barracuda to this shit? Not one of Roxette's best, but tolerable enough that I'd give it a 6. Can't touch this, it's silly. 7. Possibly the first true metal number one. A surprising number one as well. I'm not huge on Faith No More, but it's a solid song, so 7 out of 10. This is not quite as solid of a song, but still, I'd only go as low as a 6. Then we've got some very cornball early pop rap. It's not corny enough that it gives me the shits, so 7. Skyhooks' second Aussie number one song, about 15 years after their first. God knows how this topped the chart. It's Shakin' Stevens all over again. I gave Shakin' Stevens' hits a 5, so on account of being a bastardization of Shakin' Stevens, I'm going to give Jukebox in Siberia a 4. And Rivers in the Heart, only a short-lived number one, but definitely bringing something unique to the era. I'm not a super fan of the song, but I'm giving this an 8. Not as musically interesting, just a 6. And we got Vanilla. Again, a lot of corny music that just isn't corny enough for me to really rip into it. So Ice Ice Baby is just a 7. If my mates were rapping along to it, I'd probably join in, Yeah. I'm glad they found some international success with that song, but I'm not big on it. I'd still only bump it down to 6 though. Not a lot to say about this one, which isn't to say that it's terrible, just a mild 7. Musically, I don't think there's really much to it, but I can't really rate a Simpsons novelty song too low. Just a 6. And then we've got this song that I never knew the name of or the artist. 6 as well. Then we've got the theme to Twin Peaks. It's fine. 7. Also one of the better Roxette hits, so 7 as well. And this is a banger. The whole EP that reached number one is a banger. Some songs that aren't quite as good as the rest, but some phenomenal songs on it. I made a video about this band as well. It's like 6 or 7 years old at this point, but I think it still somewhat holds up, but you can be the judge of that. So just because the EP isn't perfect, I'm giving this a strong 9. Hell yeah. And then unofficial Aussie national anthem by the unofficial Aussie Prime Minister, I guess. Bit overrated, but not a bad song by any means, so it's a solid 7. and Rat Cat again for what would unfortunately be the last time, not just at number one, but also of having any semblance of a hit single. It went downhill from here. It's an undeniable earworm, and I gotta give that a 9 as well. Grease Mega Mix. Like Stars on 45 and Jive Bunny, you think I'd logically give this a 3, just for being a lazy fucking mega mix alone, because why did they put this out in 1991? However, I think the music itself is marginally better than that on the Jive Bunny song and the Stars on 45 song, so it's a 4 for the Grease Mega Mix. And we got whatever the fuck this song is. So, 5 out of 10 for, again, sounding 4 or 5 years too late. Yeah. Man, that's a fucking... Oof. 6 out of 10. Smooth. Solid 7. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, The Clash never had a number one song, but their guitarist had a number one here with this weird... Whatever the fuck you call this brand of alternative rock. Such a weird song. But I enjoyed it enough that it's going to be an 8 out of 10 for me. And then a U2 song that I'm not really familiar with, just a, mild 7.
Oh my god.
Another corny, but still mildly enjoyable, so 7. Another one of Michael Jackson's better songs, so that's a 7. Surprisingly progressive number one song for the time, solid 7 as well. That hook just kind of gives me the shits. So, on a bad day, I'll give it a 5, but I'm going to give it a low 6 on this occasion. No, I'm going to give it a 5, actually. I'll give this a 6. And we got, it's a cricket-themed one, so, you either get it or you don't. I've never actually heard this particular 12th Man thing. We had a 12th Man album growing up. No musical stuff on it, though. Yeah, just because I would... probably not come back to it, just a 5.
Whatever.
But yeah, on your 12th Man. Statutory Rapist out of 10, but musically, it's a 7. Another very, very corny song that I find hard to really hate too much, so just a 7 as well. A Euphoria song that I hadn't heard before. It sounds better than Love You Right though, so I'll give it a 6. Actually, no, I'm going to bump up that last song to a 7. Possibly because compared to this song that I don't really know, it is almost streets ahead. Take It From Me, My Girlfriend is a 6 out of 10 for me. Another, just moderately alright 7. 5 on a bad day, but today's a good day, so a 6. Better than Right Here Waiting, so 6 as well. Just because of the weirdness of combining an opera singer with a contemporary pop song, it's a 7. I think Bobby Brown's a bit of a sus guy as well, but that music sounds undeniably solid. Strong 7.
Yeah.
5.
Whatever.
Again, cheese, but not the worst cheese, so 7.
Yeah.
I don't really care about this song at all, but, just the sheer power of Whitney Houston's voice is something to behold, wasn't it? I'm feeling really generous at the moment. I think I gave this a 7 before, but this time, I Will Always Love You, I'm going to give it an 8. Yeah! It's very deserving of being a number one single. This one's fine, so moderate 7.
Yeah.
Moderate 7 as well, even though it sounds very, very Guns N' Roses inspired. Strong 7 on this one. The contrast between their previous number one song and this. It's... just a 6. Yeah. Didn't know that Janet Jackson had number ones out here, but there you go. And that sounds like a solid 7 to me as well. I mean, the music, it's okay. It's just the whole.
Big bomber clap, bit for busting on me head. I take to get less, she want to give me head.
I'm gonna say upper 6 for Informer. These fucking guys again.
Fucking hell, man.
4 out of 10. Better. This is his last hit single, and it's fine. It's a 7.
Yeah.
The amount of overproduction you can hear just from that 5-second clip alone is staggering. But it's a low 7 for that one, just because, I don't know, musically, I don't think I really hate it all that much. Mr. Vane. Yeah. You know, dated techno, but fun enough, so just a 7 as well. I definitely prefer the Sign over this one, but again, not the worst thing around, so a 6. What the fuck is this?
Fucking hell.
4 out of 10. Musically, it's maybe a 5, but for 1993 and 94, this is like, dude, get with the times. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So back then, Jazzy Jeff had the first billing? There you go. Yeah, it's fun. So 7. Immediately sounds better than that other Bryan Adams song that was just on. I almost forgot what it was called. Please forgive me. Awful Love. It's an improvement to a 6 out of 10, which is still a noticeable improvement for sure. Cut and move. Okay, it's a moderate 7.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. Alright, we're going back to East 17, because that's where the microphone decided to not... Yeah, I haven't actually heard this song before. The only song of theirs I heard is Deep, and that's a woof. Woof. I'm glad that song didn't top the chart here. It's alright, is what I would also say about this song. It's a solid 6. Power of Love by Senior Leon. Solid. What the fuck did I just call her? This is a mild 6. This is just yeah, it's a solid 7. This is definitely not Prince's best, so just a 6. Still can't believe this is a number 1. I mean, it's got a fairly contemporary sound, but it's got a hint of alternative weirdness. Number 1 for 3 weeks. Yeah, I never would have picked that. It's good enough.
Yeah.
7. This is a 6. I would have given Lovers All Around a potentially lower score if it wasn't for this song right here. That's a 5. This is a 9. My main point of reference for this song is the Tame Impala cover that they did for Like a Version back in 2017 or so. But, you know, it's not all that far removed from the original song, actually, from what I've heard. And the musical ambition of Kylie Minogue in this era compared to her Stock Aitken Waterman rubbish is extremely commendable, so I gotta respect that. And it is a good song at its core. This is not as good of a song at its core, but it's not the worst. It's a 6. This is a solid 8. I'm not going to give it a 9 just because it wasn't exactly the most trailblazing grunge song, given that it came out after Kurt Cobain died. But, again, amongst the number 1 songs that we've heard, it's one of the better ones. Absolutely. This is also one of the better ones, though I'm not huge on the song. It's still a very solid 7. This, damn, just from the sample of this, I can just really feel the emotion of it. I think the main reason I wouldn't seek out this song much in my spare time is just that I've heard it so many times growing up that I barely need to hear it because I've familiarised myself with it far too much. But I'd feel kind of bad if I rated that song anything lower than a 9. Absolutely one of the better number 1 singles that this country has seen. And then this is just sort of disposable dance pop. Yeah, Real McCoy, just a low 7.
Yeah.
This is also a 7. Probably the most ravey number 1 that this country has had. This is a 5. This is a... Yeah, this is a 7.
Yeah.
kind of wish Bryan Adams would fuck off at this point, but this isn't his worst song for sure. Just a 6. And this is one of U2's better hit singles. I can't give it anything lower than a 7. Never heard this song, never heard of her, but the 5-second clip sounds alright, so I'd feel harsh if I gave it anything lower than a 7. Alright. I'm giving this an 8 just because of how undeniably smooth it is. I do not listen to Seal in my spare time, but can't bring myself to hate that song in any way. This is definitely one of Mariah's better songs that I've heard. 7. Where the fuck did this come from? 5 out of 10. Ooh, yeah, 13, another 13 weeks. I can't say that it doesn't necessarily deserve that time at number 1. It's got to be an 8 minimum for me, for sure. Definitely not George Michael's best. 6. Overplayed, but it's good enough musically at its core that I would never hear it and be like, ugh. It's a strong 7. I mean, just because I'm vibing from it, just from hearing right now, I'm going to give it an 8. Fairly middle of the road, but it's got a nice sort of slightly grungy alt-rock sound. Fuck it, 8 out of 10 for one of us as well. Hang on, is there no Alanis Morissette? Did Alanis Morissette not have a number 1 here? Obviously the Jagged Little Pill would have been number 1, but none of the singles? Moving on. This is 7. Definitely improvement over Jesus to a Child. It's a mild 7 at least. Mild 7 as well. I mean, out of all the Metallica songs to have potentially gone number 1, I wouldn't have picked this one. Although I'm also not super familiar with the song either, so I don't know. Oh yes. It's a 9. Just another typical Celine Dion 6. If I was around back then to really hear this on the TV and the radio constantly, I would have gotten pretty tired of it, I reckon, but it's just a goofy song that I don't really have any grudge against, so just a 7. Yeah. I've never heard a Spice Girls song and been like, ugh. So that's a solid 7 as well. This is definitely one of their better singles. 7 as well. Yeah. Just for being, sort of derivative of maybe the sound of their first album, I would give this just a 7. Definitely not lower than that, because it's good. This is like a low 7. This is like an upper 6. Again, pretty corny. 9 weeks. Ooh. Yeah, that certainly would have been hard to escape back in the day. Just a 7, because I don't really have any real grudge against it. The song is okay at its core, but also, the song at its core is just a Police song, so just a low 6 for that one. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, solid 7. Yeah, I'm not feeling as generous, so 5. Well, it's a stupid song, really, isn't it? I feel like the more I think about it, the more the song would just give me the shits. So I'm giving it an upper 6. Yeah, Tub Thunking? What the fuck am I? Is that Seth Everman? No. Solid 7 again. Dr. Jones. 5. Whatever. Yeah. Should have seen that coming. Just because it's probably going to be the best Celine Dion song that we'll hear. A low 7 for that one. Okay. Yeah, this is a solid 7 for sure. Decent 7 for this, I guess. Heavy 6. It's like an upper 5. I think we did quite a few dances to that song in PE in school. Can't say I really miss it. I know of this song. I don't know if I've really heard it, and I definitely didn't think it was all that big here in Australia, but there you go. Just a light 7. Ricky Martin's alright. 7. Another decent one. So 7 as well. You know, whenever I heard that song on the radio, I was like, oh, it's nice. Again, never really went out of my way to hear it, but it's an 8 out of 10. I mean, it has the hallmarks of a song that I'd give a 6 at a maximum, but I think it's alright. A bit of over-singing towards the end by Steve. Yeah, we'll give it a 7. Good God. 5. Low 7. The hell happened to her, by the way? She fell off the face of the earth after that one. For a white guy. 6 weeks at number 1. I mean, amongst Offspring songs, it's like a 5 out of 10. But amongst number 1 songs, it's a low 7. This one's fine as well. 7. Okay, we've got Britney now. This is nearly the end of the decade, isn't it? Just a 7. And No Scrubs. It's also fine. I'm not huge on it, but I feel like I can't give it anything lower than a 7. Just a 7 as well. It's fine. Right. Some of J-Lo's stuff is fine. That one's a 7. I really do not buy into the fucking Pearl Jam hype. I never have, and I mean, I can't say I never will, but this song especially, it's like a cover of a 50s song. 7 weeks at number 1? Really? I mean, musically it's fine, so the lowest I could give it is a 5. Nah, I'm gonna bump it up to a 6. I just don't get how popular it got. Like, wow. Mambo number 5. Yeah, it's a solid 7. And the last number 1 of the 90s. Blue. Also solid, disposable, but good enough for a 7. Plenty of 9s and 8s to go around, plus one 10 out of 10 again, and plenty of respectable songs that I put in the 7 out of 10 category. Now, as we move into the 21st century with these number 1 song reactions, the video's probably going to get a little bit rougher. Funny how I say this is probably going to be rough. We had half a decade where my face cam was running at like 5 frames per second. The only video that I could find on YouTube that documents the number 1 songs of the 2000s looks like this. There's some even more ominous comments in the description of this video. Each clip is only 3 seconds long this time. Quality varies. The channel Oz the Charts probably has the best overall quality videos documenting Australia's number 1 songs that I've found, mainly because it has longer clips for each song. Therefore, I can better judge the quality of songs that I don't know as well. However, by the looks of it, the 2000s edition on that channel has been blocked, so yeah, this Windows Movie Maker video is the only option that we've got. To top it all off, they apparently left out Crazy Frog Axel F. I guess I'll start off by rating that song. I mean, it's stupid, and I'm glad that the Crazy Frog was a very, very brief novelty, but it's a 7 out of 10. I don't know. The first number 1 of the 2000s alone is I Try by Macy Gray. Macy Gray to me will always be Sia from SSX Tricky.
Oh, his snowboard is whack.
It's a respectable song. It is a solid 7. Killing Heidi, Mascara. First number 1 song in Australia by an Australian band for the millennium. It's good enough, so 7. And I think the next one is going to be Bloke by Chris Franklin. For context, this is a parody of the song Bitch by Meredith Brooks. I'm guessing that the original song also... Wait, no, it can't have, because I've already gone through the 90s, and Bitch was from like 1997 or something. So again, like Eat It by Weird Al Yankovic, the parody of the song made number 1 in this country, but the original song didn't. Go fucking figure. Fuck it, 8 out of 10 for Bloke. And, oh god, Madonna's American Pie? I don't think I've actually substantially heard it. However, I can't imagine it being significantly better than the Don McLean original. I gave the Don McLean version a 6, so Madonna's version is a 5, I guess. Bye 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 by NSYNC, solid 7. Poison by Bardo, so that's a local girl group. I don't know if I've ever heard it in full, but the little I've heard of it, just like a solid early 2000s pop number, 7 out of 10. Say My Name by Destiny's Child, solid 7 as well. Oops, I did it again. Another 7. Madison Avenue, another Aussie duo in this case. It's got a slightly different approach to the production compared to the R&B ones that came before it. You know, again, I don't have like strong convictions for it, so it's another 7, but it's a unique one. And then we've got Spinning Around by, again, is Kylie Minogue. You know, it's certainly no Confide in Me, but it's good enough. 7 out of 10. Freestyler. Possibly the only top 40 single by a band from Finland. Fuck it, 8 out of 10 for Freestyler. Anastasia, solid 7. Another solid 7 for Madonna. Then we got another Kylie Minogue, just a 7. Well, we've got our first Pink number 1. I don't really know this song, but yeah, I'm not huge on Pink. I'm gonna be maybe slightly harsh and give Most Girls a 6. Beautiful Day by U2, strong 7 for that one. Groove Jet featuring Sophie Ellis-Bextor, just a solid, chill electronic song. Give that a 7. Then we got Wheatus. I've always dug that song to some extent. Maybe compared to some of the songs that are coming later, I think it could sit solidly, or at least just within the 8 out of 10 range. That's what I'm going to give it. Who Let the Dogs Out next? That's a 7, I guess. Cruisin' by Huey Lewis and Gwyneth Paltrow. Light 7. And then Can't Fight the Moonlight by Leanne Rimes. Decent 7. Stand by Eminem and Dido. You know what? I really like the beat on that song. It's a solid song. So I'm happy to give it an 8 out of 10. And then Case of the X by Maya. Sorry. It's funny because there's an Australian singer called Maya who's been on the rise in the last couple of years. But I don't think anyone's really going to be confusing her with the American R&B singer that was popular in the early 2000s. Anyway, yep, 7. It wasn't me. 7 out of 10. Me, myself. I think Scandalous are another Australian group. It sounds fine enough. Low 7. Lady Marmalade. 7. Then we got... Yeah, another 7, I guess. I'm not sure if I've even really listened to that song beyond the chorus, so I don't really know what Shaggy's parts are like in that song. I just know the hook. Anyway, Uncle Cracker. I mean, his whole shtick seems a bit corny. Isn't he like Kid Rock's DJ as well or some shit? It's fine. Just like a pleasant, middle-of-the-road 7 out of 10. Hanging by a Moment, in my mind, possibly the best example of the 2000s post-grunge sound. Not that that's necessarily saying much, but it's a pretty catchy song. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. My grandparents had a Bob the Builder VHS, and I think it had that song on it. So I saw that quite a few times. At least a 7 out of 10 for nostalgia's sake. Another well-known Kylie Minogue. Well, there's the varying quality. Can't give it anything less than a 7, but that's it really. Smooth Criminal, strong 7, and then Get This Party Started, which is one of Pink's better songs, I would say. Upper 7 for Get the Party Started. Hero by Enrique Iglesias. Yeah, Hero's a 6. Another Kylie Minogue song. I don't recognize it from that clip. It sounds like it'd be another 7. And Whenever, Wherever, just a 7 as well. Yep, Aussie country singer, and it's not the most easy song to listen to, at least for me. Going down to a 6 with the Casey Chambers song. Hey Baby by DJ. Oh man, that's also a song that I haven't thought about for quite some time. That's another 6 out of 10. What? What is this? That sounded like some real cheeseball shit. Again, only judging from 3 seconds, but, you know, I can't give it any lower than a 6, but it sounded like real cheeseball shit. Alright, yeah, this is a bit of a rough patch. So that Shakira song, which I'm not sure if I've heard in full, it sounds like the sort of thing I would give a 6. Yeah, sort of some of these Eminem singles, when he wasn't being edgy for the sake of it, which he kind of was on this song in parts as well, but musically, I'm giving it an 8. And then Oliver Lance, low 7. This is Jive Bunny, but done right. A good transformative remix of 50s and 60s material. Decent 8. Overplayed, but 1,000 Miles is a 7 as well. Complicated is a 7 too. The Logics. I feel like I'd repressed the memory of that song. Logical Song gets a 6. Definitely prefer the Supertramp original. Hey, low 7. You know, it's kind of stupid by design, so I can't really hate on it too much, I feel. Yeah, moderate 7 for Dilemma. Born to Try is a 5. I feel like for consistency's sake, I should give an 8 out of 10 for Lose Yourself as well. It's a pretty intense and memorable number. Beautiful by Christina Aguilera is a high 6. Lost Without You. Fucking Delta Goodrem again. Oh, man. She's going to be the Celine Dion of this decade, I reckon. I'm feeling it just a margin more than Born to Try, so I'm going to give it a 6. All the things she said. 7, for sure. In the Club's a 7. Rock Your Body, 7. Yeah. Okay. We're getting to a better stretch of songs. They're solid 7s. There's Delta Goodrem doing her best Kelly Clarkson impression, I feel. It's a high 6. It's a high 6. Solid 7 for the song. Big fat 0 out of 10 for the man. The sentiment behind it is very surface level, but the song's just fine, all right. I'm just gonna give it a lowish 7, I think. Another Delta Goodrem song coming up, for fuck's sake. Yeah, White Flag's a solid 7. That one's gonna be a 5 out of 10 as well. Australian Idol, the final 12. Dear God. I don't think I've ever heard that song before. I'm not even sure if it's an original song or a cover of an old song, but regardless, I reckon if I heard more of it, it would be a 4 out of 10. Anything that comes from Australian Idol and X Factor and whatnot is probably doomed to fail in my book. Another more varied Kylie Minogue song, and for that reason, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Then we've got Britney Spears and Madonna song that I don't know by name. I mean, I know the name, but I don't know if I've heard it. Sounds like a standard Britney song. 7. That's another Australian Idol-linked song. I feel like it's on the level of the more tolerable Richard Marx songs or something like that. So 6 out of 10. What do I give that Delta Goodrem song? Yeah, I'm going to be nice. Give that one a low 7. Shut Up by the Black Eyed Peas, another one of their top 5 songs, at least amongst their hits. Yeah, I'm feeling it, you know? I'm feeling it. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Probably the only 8 out of 10 I'm going to give either Black Eyed Peas or anything else related to Fergie or will.i.am. Hey ya! Love me a bit of Outkast. They have so many iconic songs. I've never really had substantial feelings about that song, but I've never disliked it. It's just a great pop tune, you know? Just because I really like Outkast, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It definitely deserves its flowers and the number 1 spot. Good old Nolsey. He was the Australian Idol runner-up when Guy Sebastian won. And I think a lot of people felt that he was robbed. I think I had that opinion at the time. What About Me, which is the cover of Moving Pictures, which I think I gave a 6. I feel like the song works slightly better in the 2000s iteration than it does with the 80s production and whatnot. So I think this version of What About Me is at least a low 7. And we've got another Guy Sebastian song that I just don't really give a shit about, but it could be worse, I reckon. So 6. Jamelia Superstar. That's also a song I haven't thought about in a while, but it's solid, you know? So yeah, strong 7 for Superstar. Toxic. Got to give that at least a 7 because it is also a very strong pop song. Yeah! Solid 7 for that as well. Oh my god. That song is a long way from being the worst thing I've ever heard, but I'm just going to give it a 6. I didn't realize D12 had hit singles after Eminem had his hits. A low 7 for my band, I think. Low 7 for Anastasia again. Good old Spider Bait. I don't really care for it, to be honest. It's just Black Betty, and Black Betty is whatever to me. It's like watered down Spider Bait. Not a huge fan, but it's a 6 out of 10. This was number 1 too? The fuck you, I don't want you back response song? What the fuck? What a time to be alive. That's a 5. I don't know that Britney Spears song, but I don't think I really want to know it. 5 out of 10 for that as well. Yeah, I don't remember that Shannon All song, but again, it doesn't sound like the kind of thing I want to remember. 5 for Nolsey this time, I'm afraid. Paulini. There was another Australian Idol contestant. It's another 5. Get the fuck out of here with this fucking Idol shit. We've got another fucking Idol song coming up, but Missy Higgins' Scar. It's a respectable 7.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it lower than a 5 because it at least has the musical foundations of a decent song. It's a Cold Chisel song it's alright, I think. So it's another 5 for that one. I don't know that Nelly song at all. I don't think it's going to be anything higher than a 6 though. Okay. Yep, early Maroon 5. They were okay. That's a decent 7. Another Guy Sebastian song. One that I'm not sure I've ever heard. It's an upper 6. Another 5 for Delta Goodrem. I don't even know that one either, but it sounds pretty underwhelming. Speaking of underwhelming, we get Eminem at his somewhat lowest, but still somehow topping the charts. Just a 6 for Just Lose It. Solid 7 for Gwen Stefani there. Joel Turner, I think he was another Australian Idol contestant, except his thing was beatboxing, if I recall correctly. 7 for originality, at least. 5. That's another Idol-related song, but I'm feeling it slightly more. 6 out of 10. Is that... What's his name? Nitty. My God. That is a flashback and a half. I remember hearing 2 of his songs on the radio, and then he just disappeared. It's a low 7 at least. Nelly featuring Tim McGraw. A high 6, maybe. God almighty! Piss off. 5 out of 10. I don't know. I did not know this song at all. 5. Ooh. I mean, it's competent, but another 5 for Jesse McCartney, I'm afraid. I don't remember this song. Sounds smooth as hell, though. Just because I don't know what the rest of it sounds like, it's going to be an upper 7. Again, just from that sample, I mean, I know the song, but I'm vibing with it. Give that an 8. This song's fine, I think. It's an upper 7, borderline 8, honestly. This song is bizarre, honestly. Really minimal for a popular song. Yeah, again, 7 for originality, at least. 4 out of 10. Not big on that Mariah Carey song, but I don't think it's all that far behind Fantasy. The more I think about it, yeah, we'll give it a low 7. Tupac featuring Elton John? I've heard of the song Ghetto Gospel, but I didn't know. I was not prepared to find out who it was by. Holy shit. Oh, anyway, that Akon song, it's a high 6. What's the sample they have of this Tupac song? Sounds fine. Even though it was probably put out like 8 years after he died, which is a bit... but it sounds like it would be a 7 for me. Pussycat Dolls, solid 7 as well. Yeah, respectable Shannon All song again. Even though it sounds like There She Goes by the Lars. At least that specific sample does, you know. There she goes. Anyway, a decent 7 for Shannon All's Shine. Again, at the very least, There is a whole lot of originality in that song, including getting Jamie Foxx as a Ray Charles impersonator. I think the song's alright, so yeah, 7. It's good enough. I guess the ABBA interpolation is maybe a tad lazy, but it's fine. It's a 7.
Yeah.
My Hums is it's a 6.
Whatever.
Yeah, another 5 out of 10 for a weak idlecore song. Believe it or not, he was also an Australian Idol contestant. It's probably a bit of a shallow song, but it's at least a 7. Oh god, wait, no. I was almost vibing to a Chris Brown song. Oh, I've got a decent chorus. I will give credit to that. Hopefully, the only thing I'll give Chris Brown credit for. So, just a 7. I don't really know this Eminem song all that well. Like a low 7 for When I'm Gone. Love Generation, Bob Sinclair. Decent. We haven't given an 8 out of 10 in a while, so I'm going to give Love Generation an 8. I haven't thought about TV Rock's Flaunted for a long time either. Low 7 for Flaunted. I always thought Forever Young was kind of nice. 8 out of 10 for that one as well. Well, we've got the first #1 song by Rihanna in this country, and again, I'm vibing to it. And she's also not a complete piece of shit, so I'm going to give SOS an 8 out of 10. You know what? Good on you, Rihanna. Shakira. Hey, it's a minimum 7 out of 10. I probably wouldn't go any further than that, though. Solid 7 for Sexy Back as well. Credit to Sandy Tom for bringing something a little bit different to the top of the charts, but the song is just... It's an upper 6 at best. That song's alright. It's at least a 7. I don't feel like dancing. It's a moderate 7 for me, at least. Idlecore, so 5.
Whatever.
Yeah. Decent Beyonce song, as far as I go. At least a mild 7 for me. Alright, that's rating by the Kiwi band Evermore. They broke through a few songs like It's Too Late and Running that were kind of like U2 light, but also pretty good as far as radio songs go. I think this is from the same album, and it wasn't the best of their singles from that, but it's fine. It's a 7.
Yeah.
I know The Lips of an Angel by Hinder was at #1 for an absurdly fucking ridiculous amount of time. It only peaked at #3 in their home country. Didn't even chart in the UK. 7 weeks. What the fuck was wrong with you, Australia? It's another song about infidelity, but if it wasn't about infidelity, it wouldn't change the fact that it is a fucking shitful song. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance to give a 0 at any point in this video. Lips of an Angel is possibly as close to a 0 out of 10 that we're going to get. I am more than happy giving this piece of shit song a fucking 0. Fucking get out of here. Straight Lines by Silverchair. Whatever, it's a 7.
Yeah.
It's an upper 6. I don't, hate it. It's another solid Missy Higgins song, so low to moderate 7.
Yeah.
Decent 7.
Yeah.
I think I used to think that Big Girls Don't Cry was a cringe song, but it's just middle of the road. In most cases, I'm happy to give middle of the road a 7.
Yeah.
There's like a fun element to that song, but it's just so... Ooh, it's... I don't know, I'm feeling generous enough for a 7 for Good Beautiful Girls. 6 out of 10 for that Delta Goodrem one. Good song. Really bad grammar. Timbaland, Kerry Hilson, they get a 7.
Yeah.
The Veronicas, I think, sounds like they were bringing some unique energy to the charts with that song as well. Solid 7.
Yeah.
Another instance of Kylie following the Madonna blueprint of keep changing your sound. Except, unlike Madonna, she didn't necessarily follow everything that was popular at the time. She was kind of more like the David Bowie of pop. I mean, David Bowie kind of was pop for a while, but you know what I mean. I sure I don't have to explain. And then we got Apologize. That's it's a high 6. Bleeding Love is a low 6. Yeah, low 7 for Don't Stop the Music. It's got an undeniable strut to it. I'm going to give low an 8 out of 10. Again, this song isn't all that bad, but I just find it a little bit cringeworthy. So it's just a 6. Solid 7 for Sweet About Me. That's fine. Low 7.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hated this song. I'm gonna give my first 3 out of 10 of the 2000s. Terrible song. I know that for a fact. Yeah, 7 out of 10 for Katy Perry.
I eventually rated All Summer Long a 2 out of 10. After all, it's a fucking shit song, no denying that. The drums sound like complete arse, and the songwriting is basically just 3 classic songs stitched together. Oh, by the way, yes, there are 3 songs involved. Apparently it samples Bob Seger, which I never knew. However, I would still choose this song over All I Want to Do by Heart, personally, the more I think about it. So, I'm going to begrudgingly bump All Summer Long up to a 3 out of 10. Which obviously still isn't a good rating either. I guess at least Kid Rock can kind of sing. Okay. So it could have been a whole lot worse.
Lady Gaga comes in with a decent 7. Decent 7 for Pink there as well. Well, I like the Kings of Leon. We're at least bringing something fairly alternative to the mainstream, but no strong feelings about it either way. So just a 7 for Sex on Fire. 7 for Poker Face Soup. It's another Australian Idol winner's song, but it's at least got character. It's got harmonica in it even. I can respect that one at the very least, and I think the song itself is okay from what I remember. It's a 7. Jessica Bauboy, she was a Australian Idol runner-up. She had even more success than some of the winners of the show, that's for sure. And Burn it's fine. Low 7. The phrase, light 7. It's kind of Drek really, but it's highly tolerable Drek. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, never cared for Love Story. It's fine on a fundamental musical level, but it's a 6. I feel like I'd prefer just whatever the original A.R. Rahman song was over the one with the Pussycat Dolls, so 6. This is when Eminem started to get a bit more cringe, but it's a low 6. Yeah, this is when the Black Eyed Peas were still making somewhat fun pop music. Both Boom Boom Power and I Got a Feeling, they both get 7s. And this is probably one of David Guetta's better songs, so low 7 at least. Holy fucking overproduced pop rock, Batman. Low to medium 6 for Like It Like That. Yeah, that song is also sort of very middle-of-the-road pop rock fodder, but they didn't play the part with the repeated part. That's not great. It's a 5.
Whatever.
Yeah, low 7 for Meet Me Halfway. And, I always thought that song was a bit cringe, really over the top. Compared to some of the stuff it may have inspired later on, it holds up much more. Low 7 at the very least. Overall, that was a pretty decent selection of songs to have hit number 1 here. A lot better quality-wise than I was expecting, really. Now we go forward to the 2010s. In the mid-2010s, I did a community radio show which just compiled the top 50 songs on the ARIA singles chart every week. I didn't really give a shit about most of the music that appeared on the charts back then, but I still found it kind of interesting to see how songs were going up and down the charts and what was popular and whatnot, so that definitely gave me a lot more familiarity with what were the hits back then, because I didn't really listen to the radio all that much, except maybe Triple J. I am, again, worried that this one's going to be not great overall in terms of quality, but again, only one way to find out.
Love of who I am. Back in high school, I used to jerk.
Here's the first number 1 of the decade, Fireflies by Owl City. I've never hated the song, even though I've never overly cared for it. I mean, I made like 50 memes about it back in the day, so obviously I couldn't have hated it all that much. So it's a low 8 for me. Yeah, this is a very corny song. No real hate towards it. I can't really hate it, even though it's a bit generic. It's just a solid 7. This I always found this a bit creepy, lyrically. 5 out of 10 for J. Jarul, Jarul, whatever his nickname is. I definitely wouldn't put this in like the S tier of Rihanna's songs that I know. Just an upper 6. Ah, good old Train. The instrumentation is very like royalty-free sounding, but whatever, low 7.
Yeah.
I also kind of like the fact that the lyrics are complete and utter nonsense, but I don't know. Brian McFadden, oh yeah. He had a #1 in the 2000s with Delta Goodrum, his former partner. And Kevin Rudolph, God, he just like went woo and then went immediately. This song's a 6. Yeah, I'm pretty neutral on this. The football chant hook is an interesting choice. Low 7.
Yeah.
California Girls. Yeah, this is just fine, sugary pop that I have no particular burning hatred for, so 7.
Yeah.
Eminem getting his music slightly improving here. Upper 6. It sounds a bit like has like a forced intensity to it, you know? Speaking of people that had a rapid rise and a rapid fall, solid 7.
Yeah.
More Rihanna. We'll give this one a 7 as well. It's alright. Pink. We're going to be seeing quite a few of her songs as well. But again, this is one of her better mega hits for sure. So it's a fairly firm 7 again. Okay, here comes Bruno Mars. Slightly cliche, but also I think it kind of pulls off the romantic side of things well enough. So 7.
Yeah.
Again, next. Kesha again, right. I probably thought that her whole shtick was getting a bit worn out at this point, but, you know, it's a dumb, fun kind of song, so 7. Oh, dear. Yeah. I think we're pretty far beyond the peak of Black Eyed Peas at this point. I mean, it's a 6, because there's still a modicum of enjoyment you can get out of it. Oh, for God's sake. Stop showing me the songs for a second time. We get it. It topped the chart again. Fuck's sake. Definitely not the best Bruno Mars song that we're going to hear. This is a bit too over the top. Low 6. Okay, Guy Sebastian again. One of his more improved songs, at least. Just a generic, flat kind of 7 song. God, these clips are so fucking long. Ah! Oh, piss off. Well, I like that there was some variation in the charts, even if it was some of the same songs over and over. Man, this is a song I haven't heard in about 10 years at least. Low 7. Kind of surprised that there wasn't a whole lot of outrage against this song, considering the subject matter, but I guess it is kind of lightweight in that regard, not too intense. Yeah, low 7. Yeah, solid pop song. No complaints. Upper 7 for this one. And we got again 3 weeks. Okay, Jennifer Lopez and Pitbull. Not feeling this one quite as much, even though I don't really hate it all that much. Just going to be a 6 for me. Okay, Snoop Dogg, David Guetta. Definitely among both Snoop Dogg and David Guetta's better hit singles, so just a 7. And here we go, Party Rock Anthem, #1 song of the year. Not a surprise. There's a lot of things about LMFAO that haven't aged very well, including some of the musical aspects, but some of this still, I feel like this one still somewhat holds up in some unexplainable way. It's strong as far as EDM and, 2010s pop music goes. Yeah, why not? It's a low 8. I mean, of course, obviously I respect Adele's talent, but this song just really doesn't do it for me. It doesn't help that it's got a very minimal sound, but, yeah, I don't know. It's just a 6. Gautier, yeah. Again, for being a breath of fresh air in the pop scene, it's got to be an 8 out of 10 minimum. Was there even a #1 Kelly Clarkson song in the 2000s? I don't even remember. There should have been, because I think most of her 2000s hit singles were better than this. This is like Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars, but worse. 6 out of 10. Okay, LMFAO again for 6 weeks. Oh dear God. Fucking Red Foo. He was at least 30 at this point, wasn't he? And he's also the son of the founder of Motown Records, so bit of a nepo baby. It is fun, kind of funny, and it musically could be a whole lot worse. So it's a firm 7.
Yeah.
I talk about songs that could be a lot worse, and then we got this. He was an X Factor winner. Don't give a shit. It's just like they were trying. Feels like it was just trying to cash in on the Justin Bieber style pop. Good Night by Rasmus. It's a low 6. Again? Good God. Shut up. And this again. Punked Up Kicks. We've got another indie crossover. Only the 1 week. Again, this would be something different, and I've definitely never hated it. It's an 8 out of 10. Okay, Flygirls and Sia. Low featuring T-Pain definitely clears that one, but it's a low 7 anyway. Oh, bloody gym class heroes. Travie McCoy. Weirdly ever present on the charts like an STD. I don't know. Upper 6. Yeah, in terms of fun overall, I don't really buy into them, but, you know, this song is quite powerful, and it doesn't have any of that shitty auto-tune that some of the other fun songs did, so strong 7. Number 1 song of 2012, yep. I won't argue with that too much. It's fine. Corny, but fine. Solid 7.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie me. 7 weeks. Fuck off, you pervert. 4 out of 10. Okay, this is a winner of The Voice. Another, well, I mean, it's a pretty well-known singing show, isn't it? I mean, the vocal performance is giving me goosebumps, honestly. So yeah, low 7.
Yeah.
You really dropped the ball on this one, Australia. Reese Maston again. I'm just immediately feeling a 6 out of 10 on this. Yeah. Okay, Pink again. We still haven't gotten quite to the worst of Pink's hits just yet. This is a low 7. Another fun song. Some over-the-top auto-tune, but not to a painful extent. Kind of feels like a rehash of what We Are Young was doing, but decent 7 or possibly 8 if I'm feeling generous enough later. Another X Factor winner. They were like a dance troupe first, and then they had popular songs, whatever. Yeah, I'd forgotten about this song, but it sounds okay enough. Solid 7. Maybe the verses wouldn't be quite as good, but we're only judging on the chorus that time. Okay, Guy Smashed it again. Low 7. Okay, of course we got Gangnam Style. I'm never gonna be like, oh, shut the fuck up if I hear it anyway, you know? It's fine. You know, I'd say it deserved to be like an international hit. Yeah, it's at least a 7. Oh, Swedish House Mafia. Nah. Slightly too overblown to give it a 7, I feel. Upper 6, though. She won another one of the singing competitions. Moderate 6. Shop, right? Yeah. It's just too kind of infectious to really have any grudge against, so solid 7. Same love. Well, that's crazy. So Macklemore and Ryan Lewis knocked Macklemore and Ryan Lewis off number 1. There you go. The ABBA of the 2010s. Just an upper 6 because, I mean, some of it's a little clunky. When I was in 3rd grade, I thought I was gay. Yeah. He might have been truthful about, like, that might have just been how he felt when he was young, but it just sounds so odd in a song like that. So yeah, pretty sure this went back to number 1 later. It's a low 7. This is one of the songs I remember from my radio show that I did with the top 50 singles. Harlem Shake 1 week. Oh man, just because it's a bit of a nothing song, it's gonna be an upper 6, I reckon. Yeah, there it is. 3 more weeks at number 1. Okay, more Macklemore, just because it feels so buoyant. I'm gonna give it a low 8. Oh man, oh yes, I remember thinking, can we just like get something else at number 1, thanks? It's pleasant enough for a 7. It's painfully generic though. Oh, here we go. I have been getting into Daft Punk in the last year. Random Access Memories, it's a pretty fantastic album. Honestly, the straight funk songs on the album, like Get Lucky and Lose Yourself to Dance, just really aren't my cup of tea. However, still a 7. I'd fucking respect the hell out of it for being able, yeah. I mean, you know, as suspect as the lyrics may be, it's got a great groove to it, even if it may have been stolen from a Marvin Gaye song, which I don't necessarily agree with. It's a 7.
Yeah.
I mean, rest in peace, Avicii, but goddamn, this is a generic motherfucker. 6 weeks as well, yeah. Upper 6 for this. I mean, I kind of like this weird saxophone hook or whatever kind of Middle Eastern wind instrument it is. This might be the highest rated I give for a Jason Derulo song in this video. 7.
Yeah.
And then we got the number 1 song of 2013. Oh yeah, it'll definitely be coming back later in the video because it would have spent way more weeks than 3 at number 1. I got sick of it back in the day, but really, as far as pop songs go, it's fine. It's a 7.
Yeah.
And then Red Foo with a number 1 on his own. I don't think this has aged quite as well musically as the LMFAO stuff. Nah, it's an upper 5. I was gonna give it just a 6, but then just that just really wore me out immediately. And there it is again. See, I was there. I had to put this at the end of my radio program so many times, and it was just like, again, can we get something different, please? Winner of The Voice, I think, later represented us at Eurovision. Again, good voice but generic song, so upper 6. X Factor again. This is a fucking One Direction acoustic pop song. Upper 6. The chorus looks nice. I don't remember the rap verses all that much, but yeah, we'll give it a low 7 at the very least. And then, yeah. I don't doubt the sentiment behind the song, but it may also just be, again, because it's just a voice and a piano and it's not really strong enough musically to really engage me. Just an upper 6. Jason again. Yeah. This is going to be far from his worst number 1 song, I reckon, but it's won me over in these few seconds, so low 7.
Yeah.
Here's another song that was inescapable when it came out. Is that Tyler, the Creator? What the fuck? Yeah, 7
Yeah.
again. Oh, yeah, this song, right. God, the tempo. My God, pick it up. It's good enough for a 6, but god damn is this some soppy shit. This again. Yeah, nah, I'm feeling an upper 5.
Whatever.
Just, god damn, I'm fucking happy again. Were these guys a talent show winning group, or were they just, I think they were just, yeah. No, you know what? As far as pop rock goes, this is like the upper echelon, honestly. Yeah, we'll give Geronimo an 8. Surprised it took this long to get a number 1 from Ed, but definitely much worse number 1 songs from this guy, I bet. This is a solid 7.
Yeah.
Beats by Dre, are you kidding me? But I'm not rating the music video, I'm rating the song, so it stays at a 7. Oh man, 9 weeks to number 1. I remember just thinking, yeah, again, really? It's not a bad song though, so still at least a 7. Oh, the Madden Brothers, yeah. I remember actually quite liking this song when it was out back in the day. I thought, this is definitely one of the better number 1 songs that I've heard whilst doing this radio show. You know what? 9 out of 10. But yeah, then the Madden Brothers just did, I don't even know what they did. Well, Joel Madden went back to The Voice.
Whilst I was confirming that Joel Madden did continue on with The Voice after making that song, I also found... Song's still fun though.
Oh man. I definitely got sick of this song back in the day. Just the over singing, you know, I mean, again, good voice, but low 6. You know, this was before we really knew what was to come with Megan Trainor, or Megan Trainor, however the fuck. Fucking Americans can't agree on how to pronounce Megan. Yeah, low 7. Yeah, Taylor Swift. Woo. But this song is still just a 7. It's, yeah, this again. Okay. I definitely remember thinking not very highly of this song when it came out. Again, it's just voice and piano and just, God, whatever. But still low 6, at least. Again, one of Ed Sheeran's better mega hit songs. Low 7.
Yeah.
I am like firmly neutral on the 1989 era of Taylor Swift. It's fine. I've never cared about it particularly, but it's solid pop, so 7. Uptown Funk. Like Random Access Memories, the album that Uptown Funk is from, it's got some pretty solid songs. This song is good as well, but just because I heard it 500,000 times back in the day, you know what? 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's a fun throwback to the 70s, 80s funk pop kind of thing. And yeah, very deserving of being the biggest song of the year for sure. Oh, hey, yeah. This was a song that was number 1, yeah. Yep. I wasn't too big on the whole like tropical dance pop trend. This song's alright. Still. 7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely never felt this song very much back in the day. Yeah. Low 6. Oh, good God almighty. I mean, the fact that it was made for 50 Shades of Grey doesn't help, but just like the copy-paste hook in the chorus, it's like, oh. 5 out of 10. This is like a fun, corny kind of song. There's like a bank that uses it as an ad jingle now, so I'm a little bit more sick of it now. The song's at least a 7 though. Yeah, it's fine. It's a 7. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of like the fusion of a sad piano song with rap verses, but it holds up a lot better than some of the other songs of that style. So 7. An Aussie singer as well, I think. And then yeah, this was a Leslie Gore song. Upper 6. Yeah, when Taylor Swift is getting into the whole beef thing and like not diss tracks necessarily, but like pop songs with a very like angry bent to them, I think that was like generally not her at her best. So upper 6. Oh. I remember this guy. He was the brother of Grace, who had that "You Don't Owe Me" cover, and oh Jesus, I'm drowning in syrup. Yuck. 5 out of 10. Speaking of syrupy, yeah, I'm feeling 4. More tropo dance pop, you know. It's an upper 6 because it sounds a little empty. Okay, here we go with One Direction. This was their first number 1? Okay. I was worried it was going to do a dubstep breakdown from that build-up, but upper 6. So Delta Goodrum did make a return this decade, okay. Yeah, too generic for a 7, but I'll give it a 6, just to, yeah. Again, probably a 6 because it's too generic for a 7. Okay, the Biebs. This is around the time where he's making some of his much more tolerable songs, so yeah, whatever, low 7. Macklemore with their last grasp at relevance. I mean, I think I respect the musical directions it took more than I respect the songwriting itself, but yeah, 7 anyways. Yeah, we really picked the worst Adele songs to top the chart, didn't we? I mean, that's my opinion, but yeah. Low 6 for Hello. Like I said, definitely some of the better Justin Bieber songs to come out. And this is like an example of a minimal pop song that I think actually works, rather than some of those piano ballads. So I'm going to give it a low 8 out of 10. A tropical house version of Fast Car. Actually, I remember back then, there were 2 tropical house covers of Fast Car on the charts at the same time. That was a very weird time. Upper 6. I'm feeling generous. Low 7. One of our most successful exports of the 2010s, for sure. I personally think that Flume's electronic shtick got old after a while, but that one's still solid. So low 7. Haha. Look a scream! Look a scream! I used to think that this song was actually kind of decent in terms of pop music, but you picked like a verse and then you realize it's the entire fucking song. It's just, I'll go with 5. I reckon. Another song I haven't thought about in many years. Points off for being really generic and having corny rap verses. 5 out of 10. Speaking of generic, upper 6 for this one. Is this a royalty-free cover? I don't think this... That's not Drake's voice. Yeah, Drake can fucking piss off. Again, I think we're going to get much worse Drake songs later on. This is a solid 7. I gave the last Calvin Harris number 1 a 6, but I think I'm feeling this one a little bit more. So, low 7. This again, yeah. It's probably the most tolerable Drake song that I'm aware of. So, yeah, because it spent quite a few weeks at the top of the chart. Okay, more Veronica's. Ugh. Yep, too generic for a 7. Possibly even too generic for a 6. Yeah, 5 out of 10. I think this is a song that she made for, like, the Olympics. It's a 6 at best. Oh, wow. I'd forgotten that this Major Lazer song existed. Probably for a reason. Again, 6 at best. Oh, dearie me. Number 1 song of 2016. 4 out of 10. Whatever. I think this guy was a UK X Factor winner. I think I was feeling the Chainsmokers song more than this.
You know, let's not take the piss here.
4 for this one as well. Okay. Like an upper 6. I wish they incorporated more of the string trio elements in their songs. Oh yeah, of course, Shape of You. Number 1 song of 2017. 13 weeks at number 1. Over time, I've been able to tolerate this song a bit more. As painfully generic as it is, I don't hate it all that much, so... 7. This is back when Harry Styles made some somewhat interesting music. Fucking, yeah, respect the hell out of it. 8 out of 10. I think at this point I'd stop doing the top 50 singles radio show, so I didn't have to hear that song endlessly either. DJ Khaled! We the best! We are not the best. Low 6. Probably just a 6 because of its inescapability. I think it also crossed the pink peak. Yeah. 6 at most. It looks like Australian audiences didn't pick up on this song quite as much as some of their other songs, so low 6. Yeah, I think Sam Smith's general quality range is between 6 and 7, so I think I'll just say high 6 for that one. I'm really not into most trap-related kind of styles, but pleasant enough. So 7. Yeah, I actually quite like this song. I like the instrumental, especially. I think it sounds nice. Just for being slightly better than some of the other #1 songs around it, I'll bump it up to an 8. No, far too generic for me. I think this is going to be a 5. Fist me in my eye. Okay, another one of Drake's better singles, thankfully. I also like the instrumental behind it, and you know the vocal line it's fairly simple, so we'll say upper 7. Again, we haven't gotten quite to the shit list of Drake's hits. This is alright. 7. It really took this long for Ariana Grande to get a #1 here? Wow. Upper 6. Just a moderately okay rap song. Low 7. I definitely like Post Malone as a person more than I like his music. Now this again, yeah. I was a bit confused by this one because it felt like the music didn't really have the impact when you weren't watching the music video, and I kind of thought like, you know, can you really call it good music when a lot of it relies on the music video? But actually, you know, the song's okay. It's a 7. Oh, yeah, #1 song of 2018. There you go. Yeah, I'd say this pop direction suited 5 Seconds of Summer better than their early, vaguely pop-punk albums. Yeah, this song's just a 7, though. I'm not feeling Drake quite as much when he's all getting all lovey-dovey and sad boy, whatever. Upper 6. I did hear this song quite a bit back in the day, even though I wasn't doing the radio show anymore. This is just... Nah, I think I still haven't gotten over this song enough. Upper 5. George Ezra. I thought Budapest made it to #1 here. I felt like when I did the radio show, that song was at #1 at some points, but I don't know. Yeah, no, Shotgun's not as good. Upper 6 for Shotgun. Yeah, it's nothing against Lady Gaga, but just the... I just fucking can't stand that. 4 out of 10. Again, another really nice... It's fucking Kris Jenner. Again, if I was rating based on the music video as well as the song, this would be like a 1 out of 10. But no, this is definitely one of Ariana Grande's better songs that I know. We'll give it a low 8. I used to think that the "I'm so fucking grateful for my ex" line was a bit corny, but okay, yeah. This was the first time in its like 25 years of existence that it topped our chart. I mean, I don't like the commercialism of it, but it's just like 7. This song's alright, yeah? You know what? Yeah, it's catchy enough for me that I'm gonna give it at least a low 8. Very auto-tuned, but not in a really ever-present way. Okay. No. Her voice doesn't suit a rap flow. It's upper 6, baby. Oh, piss off. Yeah. Again, too generic for a 7. It's a 6. And it just reminds me way too much of Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. Okay, Billie Eilish is coming in. I just couldn't really understand the whole Billie Eilish hype back then. I don't know, I kind of can't stand it when singers just kind of singing like a whispery tone for an entire song. It's just like... But she was definitely with something unique. It's got to be at least a 7. Speaking of something unique, it's very catchy. And even though it's Billy Ray Cyrus, he adds like the novelty value to it. So 8 out of 10, you know? Ugh. Has there ever been a more fitting title for a song? Because it really doesn't sound like he gives a shit about this song. This is a 5 out of 10. We're nearly at the end of the decade. Okay, Senorita, no. Definitely isn't Camila Cabello's best. In terms of Shawn Mendes, though, I don't know. His best wasn't very good. 6. Oh, man. 21 weeks! Fuck me dead! I mean, musically, I've heard infinitely worse. Mainly just for the combination of the quality of the song and the baffling popularity of it on the charts. It'll be a 3 out of 10. It's probably the best 3 out of 10 that I've reacted to in these number one song reactions, so yeah. And then there's this again. Okay, so every time Christmas comes around, we're just going to get this at number one. Right. Yeah, that definitely wasn't too bad. No super mega amazing songs, but the songs that I got a bit sick of when they were first popular are songs that I can tolerate much better nowadays. Plus, it was definitely fun reminiscing about some of the songs from that era, good or bad. So I put it on par in terms of quality with the 1980s number one songs. That's where I'll wrap it up for this video, but it's not over yet. Part 3, the finale, is going to be coming soon-ish. We're going to finish them all off. Yes, 50s and the current decade, because why the fuck not, right? Stick around for that. Or don't. It's your prerogative. You'll be missing out on some good shit. You don't want to miss out on good shit, do you? What a fucking weird outro this has been.